All right, next up, we're talking about caffeine, fuel with a purpose, caffeine. So potential benefits from healthy sources, right? From healthy sources, increased metabolism, focus, alertness, concentration, decreased reaction time. But here's the big key point. There is no additional benefit with more than 300 milligrams of caffeine, right? So you smash that energy drink, you have your, a few cups, big cups of coffee, espresso in the morning. Once you get to 300 milligrams, there is no additional benefit. Right? So for me, who likes to slam that extra cup of coffee in the afternoon for that little pick-me-up, if I'm already at my 300 milligrams, it's just liquid calories. I'm just wasting calories, right? Potential risks, unhealthy sources or excessive amounts. So increase in anxiety, decreased ability to concentrate, increased heart rate, muscle twitching, increased risk of dehydration. Caffeine in high amounts is banned by the NCAA and by IHSA, right? So more than 500 milligrams right before competition, you could get a positive test. Be pretty stupid if you trained your butt off all year round and then chugged like some pre-workout that you didn't know what was in it and literally got your entire team kicked out of the playoffs because you thought that you wanted to be amped up extra, right? Caffeine's an addictive substance. Tolerance may minimize benefits and withdrawal symptoms will negatively impact performance. Other big potential risk, and we're going to go a little bit into the supplement industry here, guys, is when it comes to these supplements that have caffeine in them, we don't know what those ingredients are. These energy drinks, we don't know what these ingredients are. We've talked about food labels. They can be off by upwards of 20%. Legally, they can be off but upwards of 20%. 20%. So it says there's 300 milligrams of caffeine. It could be 350, maybe 375. We're good, right? That's a big difference. That's a scarily big difference. The ingredients listed in it. No supplements are regulated by the FDA, right? A lot of our, food and stuff like that is regulated by the FDA. Those labels aren't regulated and really won't be regulated unless somebody gets sick or dies from it. And then they'll look into it and maybe ban the substance. But then it gets even more sketchy because then all they'll do is just tweak one of those ingredient formulas and now it's a legal supplement again and they'll sell it again, right? These pre-workouts, guys, you got to be really, really careful. Believe me, I've taken the pre-workouts. I've done the whole thing. I'm speaking from experience here. But I've also had some pretty scary stuff happen to me because I didn't know what was in those supplements. So honestly, have a cup of coffee, have one of those crystal lights with the caffeine in it, something like that. That's going to give you the exact same benefit, right? All the muscle tingling and the vasodilators, none of that stuff does anything. It just makes you feel warm and tingly and kind of itchy because then that makes you feel like you're getting a pump. But physiologically, it's doing nothing, right? Now, if you insist on having a pre-workout, here's what you got to do is first off, there are organizations that regulate these. Go to the NCAA website, go to the IHSA website. They list out different certifications or different things, NSF, and I think it's like NSF, something like that. There's other ones that show that these have actually been tested and are legal supplements. That's your first thing. Second thing, look at that ingredient list, right? If it's got a giant ingredient list and you can't pronounce half the words, stay away. If it has secret big compounds and proprietary blends, if it says Ultimate Energy Matrix 2000 milligrams and then it lists 13 things underneath that, we don't know how many milligrams of those 13 things equal up to 2000. It could be 1900 of this and just like one of everything else. We don't know, right? That's sketchy and that's scary. Don't do it. It should say exactly how many milligrams of everything are in there. And then again, just ask us, reach out to us. We have dietitians we work with as well, where we can make sure that you're getting something healthy, right? Now, again, lastly, to finish up, no amount of caffeine can equate to a good night of sleep. No amount of caffeine can equate to a good night's sleep. So if you're worried about pre-workouts and what energy drink to get, I'd probably just focus on the sleep first. But again, the challenge is most of you athletes, especially you student athletes, are way too lazy to actually focus on the sleep and admit the fact that you don't prioritize being a high-level athlete as much as you like to say you do, right? You like to say you like to grind and you like to work really, really hard, and yet you're just chasing these quick fixes and these supplements and caffeine things, when in reality, you don't have the self-control and you're not mentally tough enough as an athlete to focus on getting good quality sleep. So that's the challenge. You want to be great? Here's how you do it. Get to bed on time. If you want to use some caffeine, there's nothing wrong with it in moderation. Just make sure it's from a healthy source.